Good morning and welcome to today's episode of Nadya's Identity Files. Today is the last segment of 2016, which is crazy because, first of all, it's hard to believe that, number one, it's been more than 2 months since I've had this show, since the launch of the show on October 4th, and number two, that this year is already coming to a close. This year has gone super fast. I know a lot of people can agree with me there, so I'm just kind of a little overwhelmed by it all, but I'm very excited to be here today because today's segment is going to explore a very interesting aspect of identity, something that a lot of us don't really think about. So we're going to be talking about the impacts that a chronic illness, lifelong disorder, or disease can have on one's identity. Beyond dealing with various societal stigmas, preconceived notions from friends and family, or limitations even imposed by at times dismissive medical professionals, a disease or illness can really also offer the opportunity for a unique form of self-awareness for those disease-free people may lack. So there are a lot of nuances to identity. Clearly, we've been exploring those for the past couple of months, and there's no shortage of different ways that various lifelong situations and struggles, including illness, can really impact one's identity. So we're going to be digging in very deeply into that today. And I have the pleasure of having three very talented and creative women to explore this interesting aspect of identity with me today. First, I'm going to speak with Carol Ann Topaz, also known as Devalia. Carol Ann is a world-renowned healer, author, and motivational speaker. Her new book details how she achieved miraculous recovery and remission from multiple autoimmune and rare diseases using mostly orthomolecular medicine and nutrition, in addition to high technology software, which is super incredible. I'm really excited to speak with her about that. Thereafter, we are going to chat with Sierra Danielle Jackson, an actor, model, and fourth runner-up to Miss California 2015. For most of her life, Sierra lived with sickle cell anemia, but thanks to a successful bone marrow transplant, she is now in full recovery. I've known Sierra for a very long time, and in fact, I haven't seen her for quite some time, so I'm so excited to chat with her in depth about these important issues. She also just recently appeared in an inspiring short video for The Mighty, exploring the impacts of chronic pain. So definitely check that out. I'm going to have the URL for that video alongside that's going to appear in the corner during her segment. And third, and definitely not least, I'm thrilled to have Brenna Rea, an incredibly talented actor, model, designer, songwriter, and guitarist. There's really no limits to what she's doing. She's only 23 years old, and she already has numerous film and TV credits under her belt. And in addition to accomplishing so much in the entertainment world, she's also been living with epilepsy. So we're going to be digging into how this condition has impacted her her journey in entertainment from the very beginning and to now. So again, I'm very looking forward to discussing about these women's triumphs and achievements. But first, I really have to go into a little bit about 2016. Obviously, every segment I do some identity news, but today we're going to do more a little bit of a year in review, so to speak. There's tons of stuff that happened this year, so we can't go into everything, unfortunately. But I do want to pay tribute to the individuals we lost this year due to illness or tragedy, individuals that really paved the way for the ways in which many of us embrace our numerous identities and various nuances of our individualities. It really was a rough year for loss and losing a lot of really amazing folks. Some of these losses included the deaths of individuals who really paved the way for identity and debunking societal norms, including David Bowie. We lost Prince, Alexis Arquette, Leonard Cohen, and many more. I mean, it was a really bad year, you guys. I mean, I'm sure you can agree. It a really rough year for losing some very incredible folks who empowered millions of people to embrace their identities through art, music, fashion. These icons really overturned old tropes and notions and were responsible for launching new movements and subcultures. So they will be missed, and I do want to pay a tribute to them. So rest in peace to all of the amazing icons who, again, paved the way for identity this year, and not to mention just anybody who, unfortunately, we no longer have with us going into 2017. But some of the year's losses also were tied up in victories, which is very interesting to look at loss, the possibility of a loss being imbued with a certain type of victory. For example, very clearly, actually, Hillary Clinton's electoral college loss to President-elect Donald Trump, but her popular vote wins. So she won the popular vote, a victory, but unfortunately she lost the electoral college vote. I know some of you out there might be thinking, well, there's still the electoral college voting count. There's a chance that she might, kick him out. But, to be quite honest, I don't really expect that to be the case. So that's something to think about in terms of a loss and win, kind of the intertwining of the two. So this election season, it obviously highlighted and possibly widened the divide between the right and the left, and even created a split within the Republican Party. I think that, obviously this election brought out a lot of bad things in many people, but a way of looking at the whole scenario as a victory is thinking about how it, could really possibly empower us to be more active citizens and think more deeply about our involvement in the political process and, the process, even more importantly, of understanding each other. So again, a lot to think about in 2016. I'm very, very excited to be here with you today and to close out the year's Nadya's Identity Files with three so super, super, super inspiring women who are going to explore with me an area of identity that is not talked about enough. So, it's really important that we start to understand each other's vulnerabilities and struggles before we seek out to oppress one another or judge each other. And I'd like this episode and the way we explore really important issues to serve as a reminder that we really need to listen to one another and understand that there are things going on in each of our lives that a lot of us are not aware of or choose not to be aware of. So, the next time you jump to attack somebody because of a belief that's different, or judge somebody, just remember that all of us have a lot going on and we're all human at the end of the day. And, we're in this together. So let's, brace ourselves for a 2017 that's full of unity and peace and excitement and achievement. And, just think of it that way. So we'll be right back after this commercial break, first with Carol Ann Topaz, and then we're going to have Sierra Danielle Jackson, followed by the Miss Brenna Ray. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, I'm very excited to have three guests today, but time is limited, so I won't have a chance to do our roundtable today. So instead of having the roundtable with our on-air social media consult or other areas that we often explore, I am going to give every single one of my guests the opportunity to have a free consult with me after this show. So yay. Obviously you won't get to watch that, but yay for them. So stay tuned.